you answer that, John, we'll stand by for the national anthems. Okay, well, we struggled through that somehow, I don't know how, and despite what you may have thought, the match is between Israel and Australia, not between Israel and West Germany. Johnny, to the question about Israel's style today.
Well, it was a question on aggression, and there were two aggressive sides, not just Australia in Tel Aviv, and two who committed a similar foul. But aggression is part of the Australian spirit. It's certainly part of the Australian soccer way of playing, or any other sports that we play. It's aggressive, and Australian teams have to play with aggression. It's part of their nature.
Okay, John, thank you. Mordechai, thank you as well. We'll catch up with both of you at half-time, and we'll go to our commentator to check the lineups, Mike Hill.
Well, Australia are forced to make one change from the side that did so well in Tel Aviv. Of course, Kenny Murphy is out through suspension. The player that comes in is the number 12, Odzakov. Otherwise, it's the side that's performed so well for Australia since Frank Arok took over in 1983. Well, one player there who'll be pleased to be playing today is Terry Greedy. He took that nasty knock in Tel Aviv, but he's fully recovered and takes his position in the Australian goal. Israel have also made one change from the side that lost in Tel Aviv. The number 6, Marili, comes in to replace the number 2 on that occasion, which was Moknes. Just a slight change around, in fact, in the Israeli defence, with Kirat now playing at right back. Well, the referee today is Mr. Rosa Santos, who comes from Portugal, as do the 2 linesmen. Certainly the Israeli side have got some support here at Olympic Park in Melbourne. And it really is nice to see so many Australian supporters around this ground. And the boxing kangaroo flag is very evident. So Australia have won the toss. Our Portuguese referee ensures that all the photographers are way back from the sidelines. Australia have won the toss. They'll be kicking with the wind, in fact, in the first half. Australia in recent years have got a good track record here at the Olympic Park in Melbourne. It's their last game here. It's against Red Star Belgrade, when they won convincingly by 4-0. In fact, it's Israel that get this game underway. They're kicking from left to right. Israel, the light blue shirts and the white shorts. Australia, the familiar green and gold. So Ratcliffe. Malmilian. Now Turk. Strong challenge there from Jennings. Still Jennings trying to play that one forward. Johnny Kosmina. Away by Kirat. So Kirat today playing in the right back position. I'll be going again. The number 5 will play as sweeper. Jennings with this throw for Australia. Now Ratcliffe. Jennings again just hooking that one forward. This is Mitchell. So many problems in Tel Aviv. Hooking that one back and away. Tied up, in fact, by Cohen, giving his goalkeeper the first touch of the match ball. So this is the new man with his first touch. Marili. Pizanti plays midfield for his club, FC Cologne. Moved today into the midfield position. He played left back in Tel Aviv. So a throw on that far side to Australia, taken by Davidson. Yankos on one forward again, looking for David Mitchell. Ekhoiz was the player missing that challenge. A heavy challenge from Ekhoiz, which gives Australia a free kick. Referee from Portugal stepping in very quickly. In fact, that challenge on David Mitchell has also broken the corner flag. So the referee now tries to replace. So the game will be delayed while a new corner flag, in fact, is found. Good crowd here at Melbourne's Olympic Park this afternoon, as Australia get the first free kick. Referee again talking to Chris Bambridge, the 4th official here. So the game will recommence with this free kick for Australia, to be taken by Joe Watson. Ratcliffe and Steve O'Connor have both gone forward. Watson with the free kick. Away there by Turk. Steve O'Connor at the far post, couldn't get a clear header. Away then by Sinai. Now Yankos. Israel coming out quickly, trying to play the offside trap. Yankos forward. Now David Mitchell. And there against Turk. And a wild kick, in fact. Referee in there very quickly. So another free kick for the Socceroos. So taken by Watson. Now Jennings trying to play that one in quickly. Skewed off the side of his boot and away for a goal kick. Jennings today making his 13th appearance at full international level for Australia. Player, in fact, who played for the youth side as a left winger, converted to a fullback by Tommy Doherty when he was coach at Sydney Olympic. So a goal kick for Israel. So taken by Haviv. Now Turk. One in the air there by Steve O'Connor. Now Oscar Crino. Odzakov slipping. Pizanti. Marili. All out of play again on that far side. A throw for the Socceroos. Well, John, from the pictures here, Olympic Park looks in magnificent condition. You've walked over the pitch.
Well, it's saying if you can't play on that ground, you can't play at all. It's in absolutely a brilliant condition. Australia, obvious already that they're particularly playing with the strong breeze they are in the first half. They're going to try and use Mitchell and Kosmina's ability in the air as much as possible, which I think is a good tactic, because if there is a weakness in the Israeli defence, it could be their strength in the air.
Charlie Yankos letting Terry Greedy have a feel of the match ball. Terry Greedy fully recovered from that bad knock in Tel Aviv. And now Steve O'Connor. Kosmina. Trying to play that down, but nobody coming through from midfield for the Socceroos. Now Ekhoiz. Sinai. At the moment, keeping possession well, making the Socceroos do the chasing, but now it's all broken down. Kosmina there, in fact, getting in the way of Joe Watson. Still Kosmina somehow gets up and pushes it wide now for Watson. Watson quickly closed down. Illegally, says the referee. Kirat was the culprit. Joe Watson, of course, caused so many problems for this Israel side in Tel Aviv. An outstanding match. He certainly will be closely marked this afternoon. So Watson with the free kick. Steve O'Connor. And the header against the post, although the whistle had gone for some pushing by John Kosmina. Steve O'Connor, so dangerous when he comes forward in those situations.
To strength Australia is obvious tactic at the start, Mike. They're going to use their ability in the air, and that was another occasion of it. But just on the pushing and how the referee can give a free kick either way, because there's just so much pushing, as there was in Tel Aviv in the box, you can give the free kick either way.
Well, as you said, in Tel Aviv, it always seems to help the defending side. So Haviv with the clearance, met there by David Ratcliffe. The head there of Kirat. Cohen was the player, tidying up. So much depends for Israel on the performance of Harvey Cohen, their skipper. Player who used to play with Liverpool in England. Real organiser of this side at the back. So again, Haviv with the long clearance. Again met by David Ratcliffe. Kosmina. Trying to head it wide. This is Kirat. That's Sinai. Ohana. Good play by Ohana. Pizanti. Ohana. Brought down there by Charlie Yankos. A free kick just outside the Australian penalty area. Ohana, the real pin-up boy of Israeli soccer. Quite a danger on that left flank. Compared in a lot of ways with Georgie Best. Seems to have the same habits off the field as well. So testing time now for Terry Greedy. Israel with this free kick. With Malmilian and Sinai, the two free kick specialists. Malmilian, in fact, is the player lining up to take this one. Still the referee, in fact, trying to get the Australian wall back the required 10 paces. So Malmilian waiting for that wall to get back. So Australia have pulled everybody back. Malmilian with the shot. Safely taken there by Terry Greedy. Well worked free kick. Mitchell there, rugby tackle to the ground by Kirat. And David Mitchell caused so many problems in Tel Aviv, would have been away there, and Kirat knew it. And a tackle would have done justice to any rugby player in Australia. It results in a free kick for the Socceroos. So Charlie Yankos with the opportunity of planting this one forward. Usually away now, Ohana. Away there from Davidson. Good skills again by Ohana. Sinai. Spreading it wide. This is Turk. Armeli, goal scorer for Israel in Tel Aviv. Now Pizanti. Malmilian. Off the head there of Davidson. Could have gone anywhere. Finishes up safely into the arms of Terry Greedy. Ekhoiz was the player winning that challenge against Mitchell. Now Kosmina. Jennings. Now Oscar Crino. Still Crino. Way by Kirat. Jennings. Came off the head, in fact, of Malmilian. So 10 minutes gone, still no score. At this stage, John, neither side really have settled down.
No, Israel playing it very cool, just content to hold it at this stage and to sound out the Australians, if you like. But an interesting and a very crucial battle is going on the far side of the field. That's between Ohana and Davidson. And the bad sign, if you like, for Australia, Ohana has had the better of the few clashes that they've had at the moment. That is a big danger for Australia, is Ohana on the far side, and Davidson really has to be at his best to contain him.
So the ball coming off of Oscar Crino, a throw for Israel. And Turk there trying to steal about 5 yards. Pizanti. Kirat. Cohen. Watson was in there first. Got a touch. Not really the way he wanted it. But Watson there saw the possibilities and quickly got into it for an intercept. Ohana. This time brought down by Alan Davidson. And in fact, Alan Davidson's going to get the first yellow card of the afternoon. So yellow card for Alan Davidson for the challenge. The number 11, Ohana. As you were saying, John,
he's getting the better of Alan at the moment. Well, very crucial that he's contained on that far side. Desperation tackle here from Alan. Bad tackle.
Well, we didn't see too much of Ohana in Tel Aviv. Certainly shown good touches this afternoon. So Sinai with this free kick. Right across, nobody there for Australia except for their skipper John Kosmina back helping the defence. Away by Kosmina. That bounced off the back of Mitchell. Fell nicely for Avi Cohen, who hooks that one forward. Now Armeli. Armeli! Brilliant save by Terry Greedy. But it all came when it bounced, in fact, off the back of David Mitchell. And Avi Cohen seized on the opportunity. Armeli, who scored in every World Cup clash in this series, was denied there by that man Terry Greedy. But it results now in a corner for Israel. So Sinai, the opportunity of floating this one in. Safely taken by Terry Greedy. Well, certainly that save, John, will do Terry Greedy's confidence a lot of good. Of course, coming back from an injury is always
needs it badly, but the impressive thing was the contribution from Cohen there at the back, and what a fine ball he put through for Armeli.
So a free kick this time for Australia for the late challenge on Joey Watson. Sinai argues the point with the referee. So Joe Watson with this free kick for the Socceroos. Steve O'Connor climbing well, Ratcliffe up there as well, and Ratcliffe hooking it. In fact, away for a goal kick. There's the two central defenders combining well, and Dave Ratcliffe was the last player to get a touch, and he hooked it wide. But there's Steve O'Connor, central defensive partner, climbed so well.
It's a better ball from Watson too, one that's hung up and gives the attackers a chance to get at it.
Wouldn't quite fall right for Ratcliffe. He hooks it well wide. Marili. Ohana. Tied it up by Graham Jennings. All the way back for Terry Greedy. Well, Ohana, who's only 21. As we said, the player wanted by Manchester United. Certainly showing some good touches so far today. Now Odzakov. Still Odzakov. Still Odzakov going, dispossessed at the third attempt. Good run that by Odzakov. So a throw to the Socceroos on that far side. Watson. Still Joey Watson. In fact, it seems that Pizanti's been pushed into midfield, John, to pick up purely Joe Watson.
Well, the saying is, if Watson plays well, the Socceroos play well, and if and that obviously that seems the case with Israel at the moment. It's a good tactic by them, because if Watson can be contained, it does limit Australia's creation of chances up front.
So a late challenge that time by Steve O'Connor is penalised.
And after his game in Tel Aviv, Watson would certainly be a marked man. It's then up, of course, to Odzakov and Crino, the other two midfielders, to take up a bit of that slack and to complement Watson's work.
15 minutes gone, still no score. Australia 0, Israel 0. Kosmina. Feet high there. By Kirat. Well, in fact, the decision has gone the other way. John Kosmina has been penalised. Certainly from here it seemed feet high.
It was a holding back, and then it was a kick in the face, and the free kick's gone the other way. So
there's some rumour that referees always favour the home side, John.
Never in Australia. Never has been and never will be. Maybe we don't look after them well enough.
So away this time by Cohen. Ratcliffe winning that challenge in the air. Kosmina. Kirat again. Marili, the player, playing it all the way back to his keeper. Sion Marili making his first appearance in this qualifying series. He has made 28 appearances for Israel before today. Now Odzakov. Usually dispossessed. Pizanti. Malmilian. Now Turk. Stopped there by Graham Jennings. And now Watson on the far side, and he's got a lot of space. Both Mitchell and Kosmina have made a move into the box. Still Joey Watson hooking this one across, and the offside flag up. Kosmina and Mitchell with the two players caught. So the referee moving in there quickly. A dispute there between John Kosmina and Harvey Cohen, the two skippers. Referee will have a word with both of them. Certainly no love lost there, John, after Tel Aviv.
Cosy never loses any love over anyone, does he? He's quite an aggressive type who you either love or hate. And I must say I'm one of the guys that is all for Cosy. He's been such a tremendous servant for Australian soccer, and as a striker his scoring rate is so high. We were saying on Watson being marked closely. If Israel's to mark Kosmina and Mitchell out of the game, Australia has very few goal scorers in its team, and they'd be the three players that would have to get extra special attention from Israel, as they are getting at the moment.
Now Kosmina. Davidson playing that one forward. Marili just hooking that one clear, and his father was Charlie Yankos. Mitchell just failing to control that. So a throw again to Israel. Turk. Now Cohen. Ohana. You switch flanks. A foul that time by Graham Jennings. So Pizanti. Ohana. Stopped there by Ratcliffe. Sinai. Quite a tussle there with David Mitchell. He gets past Mitchell and Ratcliffe. Stopped eventually by David Mitchell, who's chasing back. So a throw to Israel. Must be concerned on the end of that other Australian bench where Frank Arok is sitting. Certainly his Socceroos really haven't settled at this stage. Ohana. Ohana there, caught by David Mitchell. So a free kick for Israel.
Bad foul by Davey, and in many respects an unnecessary foul. There was 2 against 1. It's in a very dangerous position. Perhaps a little over-anxious, but I have to agree with him, Mike. Australia really hasn't settled down. If anything, Israel is more impressive at this stage of playing the match with a little bit more purpose in Australia. Probably playing with the wind and conscious of the fact they've got to use Kosmina and Mitchell in the air a lot. They're playing it forward, perhaps just a little bit too quick at this stage. And also Odzakov and Crino, together with Watson, and really not exerting enough authority in the midfield area at this stage.
So Ohana was the player who received treatment, now back on his feet. Game will recommence with this free kick. So Malmilian and Sinai, the 2 players over the ball. Malmilian. Away by John Kosmina. Everybody, in fact, back for Australia. Nobody forward. So no pressure now for Harvey Cohen. And that one in the air by Steve O'Connor. Ohana. Away by Yankos. Now Cohen. Came off the head of Marili. So Mimrovic, the Israeli coach, I think he'd be quite happy with these first 20 minutes. Remember, of course, in the second half, Israel will have the advantage of what really is quite a stiff breeze at their backs. And now David Mitchell, faced there by Ekhoiz. Still Mitchell. Cohen's come across. Mitchell cutting this one back. Hooked away for a corner for the Socceroos. David Mitchell there sold the dummy, and Ekhoiz bought it. Really cut the ball back well. So Joe Watson with this corner for the Socceroos. This one in. The head there of Cohen. Odzakov. Shot charge down. Now Watson. Jennings. Posting that one back in. Haviv's come. Good punch away by the keeper. So Crino was the player he clashed with. Now Davidson. Still Alan Davidson. Showing too much of that to the defender. Sinai's the player back. So the throw for the Socceroos on the far side. So Yankos spreading it wide. Nobody there though for the Socceroos. No Ohana. Running into trouble. Just have been fouled, in fact, by David Mitchell. Ekhoiz. Malmilian. Ohana that time quickly closed down by Watson. Odzakov. Now Graham Jennings. Watson. Odzakov. Spreading it wide. Alan Davidson, in fact, making his run late. There was a lot of space on that far side. So a throw to Israel. Ohana having running repairs on the sideline. Really? Just trying to keep that one in. Armeli and Turk, the 2 Arab players, in fact, in this Israeli side. Now Kosmina. Throw again for the Socceroos. Just over the halfway point of this first half. Australia 0, Israel 0. So Odzakov with the throw. Ratcliffe got a touch. Kirat, in fact, was the player rescuing the situation for Israel. And now Steve O'Connor. Davidson. Mitchell. Now Oscar Crino. Still Crino. Watson. That came off the head of Kirat. Throw goes to the Socceroos. So Kirat, who played as the central defender in Tel Aviv, converted to the right back position this afternoon.
It's where Australia misses Murphy's longer throw, if you like.
Odzakov getting good distance with that one. Again, some pushing. It's one of the Australians. It's a free kick to Israel. So Haviv. Touched on there by Malmilian. And his father was Steve O'Connor. Kosmina. And that one behind Oscar Crino, who recovered well. Now David Mitchell. Still Mitchell. Malmilian was the player chasing back. Now Jennings. Odzakov. And Oscar Crino there slipping but recovering well. Although the flag was up. Well, the linesman indicated the ball was out of play. From this angle it seemed as if it was still in. The referee in fact has given free kick for the Socceroos. So Joe Watson getting the opportunity of floating this one into the danger area. Steve O'Connor and Dave Ratcliffe have gone forward. In fact, Joe Watson's going to leave it for Odzakov. Odzakov, the free kick specialist for Sydney, Croatia, his club, trying this one, trying to curl it in at the near post, in fact. Not too well hit, away for a goal kick. Odzakov today making his third appearance at full international level for the Socceroos. Came into the squad, made his debut, in fact, in Sydney against Vasco da Gama in the tournament earlier this year. So Haviv again, and this one over the halfway line. Now Turk. Marili. Marili was the player brought down, the referee, and the free kick being taken quickly. Pizanti. Ratcliffe read that situation well. And then before Armeli. Now Ekhoiz. Cohen. Long searching ball. Wait this time by Ratcliffe. Pushing this time. So a free kick for the Socceroos. John, it's quite a strong wind here at Olympic Park, but is that really much of an advantage for the Socceroos?
Well, there's two theories, of course, on that. One is that playing with the wind, the ball tends to run away from you too much, and it is easier in playing a controlled build-up type of football that actually playing into the wind favours you. I would think it would suit Israel much more playing into the wind. Australia probably do them a favour. I think they've got to put the ball down and play a little bit more than they're doing at the moment. Again, I think that they're overplaying the advantage that they have in the air and trying to get the ball forward too quickly, whereas they'd be better to try and build up a bit. But I would think at half-time the Australian team's got to have a good look at their studs, because so many players have been slipping. Obviously got rubbers on when they need the studs, but on so many occasions and in good positions, and I think they really have to have a look at that at half-time.
So free kick for Australia to be taken by Alan Davidson. From the head there of Oscar Crino. Safely taken by the keeper. Crino there, got a good forceful header in. No real worries though for Haviv.
Australia have got to get their free kicks deeper to the O'Connors and Ratcliffes, Kosminas and Mitchells, the better headers of the ball. Although it was a good header from Crino, it's not one of his great strengths. And Australia are wasting too many good free kick situations at the moment by not getting the ball deep to those better headers of the ball.
Yankos spreading it wide, picking out Davidson on the far side. Still Alan Davidson. Still Davidson. Now Watson. Just floating this one in, looking for Kosmina. Way there by Turk. Turk there kicking Kosmina while he was down. Still play goes on. This is Odzakov. Still Odzakov. Now Graham Jennings. Ricocheting there off Oscar Crino. And Malmilian, the player, tidying up at the back. A few little scruffles going on there, John. John Kosmina kicked.
Well, that's quite frankly has annoyed me about the criticism of the Australian teams about being aggressive. I mean, there are two aggressive sides in Tel Aviv, and in terms of aggressive and bad tackles, there's been two aggressive sides here today as well. It's not just something that is solely the Australian team doing.
Now Ratcliffe. Now Oscar Crino. Trying to play that into the path of Kosmina. Marili. Now Ohana. Pizanti had made a good run forward and just failing to control that. That could have spelt danger for the Socceroos. Certainly Pizanti's looked a lot better, John, in his more midfield role than he did in Tel Aviv as a fullback.
Ohana as well. Israel should be playing that their left side all the time. I'm a great admirer of Alan Davidson, but I just don't think he's really back to his best form at the moment. He has his fitness problem, and Israel should be really playing on Australia's right flank.
Mitchell doing well to keep that one in. Still Mitchell. Brought down right on the edge of the penalty area.
That justifies a comment we're saying before. I mean, aggression comes with both parties, and bad tackles are coming. If nothing else, more Israel today with the bad tackles and the aggression than Australia.
So a free kick for the Socceroos. David Mitchell was the player brought down. To be taken by Joe Watson. Again, Steve O'Connor and Dave Ratcliffe have come forward. Referee is still trying to get the wall back the required 10 paces. So Watson with the free kick. Pushing this one in. And the goal from Dave Ratcliffe. The goalkeeper came, and Ratcliffe there was completely unmarked. And the goal come in 31 minutes into the first half. And Olympic Park erupts. David Ratcliffe. His first goal ever for Australia at full international level. Free kick came across from Watson. The goalkeeper came and missed it. And Ratcliffe had the goal at his mercy and planted it into the back of an empty net.
Mike, we were saying before that Australia has to use their free kicks a lot better to hit them deeper, and that's why they have to do it. They've been hitting them too short. They dominate at the back with Ratcliffe and O'Connor and Mitchell, and they've got to use it all the time because that's where they have a clear advantage over Israel. That's one of the few times they've done it in this match from about 20 free kick situations, and Australia in front now, of course, 1-0, a very vital goal, and hopefully one that they're going to be able to hang on to now. But they've got to use their advantage at the back or beyond the far post a lot more than they've done so far.
So the Australian flags flying on that far side. 31 minutes gone. Australia 1, Israel 0. Dave Ratcliffe the scorer. And relief there on the face of coach Frank Arok. And that man Dave Ratcliffe must be so happy. One of the most competitive players in the Australian team. Player who never knows when he's beaten. Such a good header, well placed. So at last this Olympic Park crowd has come to life. Of course now, John, that's going to put a lot more pressure on the Israeli side.
Well, they've been playing a very contained game, content to build up and let their chances come at this stage, which in many respects is not a bad tactic, seeing that they're playing with the breeze in the second half. But now they've really got to come out and have a go at the Australians, which of course is going to create more chances for Australia on the counter-attacks.
Well, there's another yellow card. It's time for an Israeli player for something he had said to the referee. So away this time by Watson. Marili. In fact, Israel have been given a free kick for a challenge by Odzakov. Strange decision there, which seems to have confused everybody around the ground, including the Israeli players, but they'll take the free kick. Marili. Ball bouncing awkwardly and away that time by Charlie Yankos as Terry Greedy came out. And Israel have got a corner that came off, in fact, of Joe Watson. So often we see a team score a goal and then concede one so quickly. Hopefully it's not going to be the case this afternoon. 10 minutes to go to half-time. So Israel have brought Ekhoiz up, the big defender, the number 4. Cohen's also on the goal line. So Malmilian, the opportunity of swinging this one in, which he does. Greedy comes, and there was some pushing again. The free kick goes to the Socceroos. Well, at least the referee's consistent, John.
Well, worldwide, unfortunately, they're consistent. The defenders always get the best of the pushing. They never push, of course. It's only the attackers that push, and so we're led to believe by referees. But a nice relief for Australia at critical time. 5 minutes to half-time. They've really got to go in at least one in front and to settle things down for a second half, which I'm sure they're going to be under a lot of pressure.
So Greedy with the clearance. Back pass gives Australia a corner. Well, in fact there, John, I thought the referee was going to give Australia a free kick for the challenge by Turk on Crino.
Well, he certainly
was a bit wild.
The ball rolled to Kosmina. He probably had a split-second thought to allow the advantage, which in the circumstances was fair enough.
So Watson with the corner. Now Steve O'Connor. Again, some pushing. So another free kick. This time to Israel.
Only the forward pushing again.
So Ekhoiz. Straight to Odzakov. Now Watson. Davidson. Davidson, who seems to have settled down. Watson. Kosmina. Kosmina with a shot. Just over the top there from John Kosmina. Good play there from the Australian skipper. Tried a dipping shot from outside the penalty area. Watson there played it into his Sydney City teammate. Good skills there from the Australian skipper. And a dipping shot just over the bar. Ratcliffe, this time being pushed. So a free kick for the Socceroos. Davidson. The offside flag up this time against John Kosmina. So a free kick for Israel. Just about 8 minutes to go to half-time. So Cohen. Ohana. Away from Davidson. Then away from David Ratcliffe. Still Ohana. Good challenge from Charlie Yankos. Timed his tackle there to perfection. Yankos with the clearance. The ball out of play on the far side. So the throw to Israel. Rosa de Santos, the referee from Portugal. Comes in fact from southern Portugal. As Israel hook this one forward. Ratcliffe there, it's climbing, greedy. A shot coming in from Pizanti. Finishes up well wide. David Pizanti, who plays for FC Cologne. The player they bought during the European summer. Trying the shot there from one outside the penalty area. Terry Greedy there seeming to be impeded as he came to punch that one. Pizanti's shot always too high and wide. Watson there, flattened by Marili. Now Davidson, Ratcliffe. Now Mitchell, Crino, Mitchell. A good ball from Mitchell, trying to pick out Graham Jennings. Turk, in fact, to come back to help his defenders. And Turk there, a wild challenge on John Kosmina. Well, Turk has got away with a lot of things in Tel Aviv, and he's got away with a few wild challenges here this afternoon. The referee that time saw it and was quickly in to take a name. John Kosmina slowly to his feet. In fact, I think the referee is going to book both players. He's having a word with Turk to start with. In fact, Turk and John Kosmina, and a yellow card in fact to both players. So a yellow card to Turk and a yellow card to John Kosmina. The free kick goes to the Socceroos. John Kosmina, who was also booked in Tel Aviv, that he will miss the game in Adelaide on Wednesday night against Chinese Taipei. This is Australia's next World Cup opponent. Israel, of course, go to New Zealand tomorrow. Their next match is next Saturday in Auckland. So Yankos with the free kick, having that one hard and low, safely taken by the keeper. John Kosmina standing there waiting for the crumbs. That's the referee found this time. Free kick for Israel, which is quickly taken. Steve O'Connor, beaten that time by Ohana. Ohana playing that one in, safely taken though by Terry Greedy. Israel looking so dangerous when they do break quickly, and especially on that far side. With Ohana, the number 11. Pizanti missing that one now, Kosmina. Still Johnny Kosmina. Ball out of play, the throw goes to Israel. So Marili trying to steal a few extra yards, pushed back by the referee. Sinai. Dispossessed there by David Ratcliffe. Odzakov. Now Watson. Dangerous run back. Yankos there was there first though. Now David Mitchell. All the way back for Steve O'Connor. Odzakov. It's Graham Jennings. Odzakov again. Turk was the player in there first for Israel. And now Cohen. Pizanti. Ohana. Again Charlie Yankos, the last line of defence for the Socceroos. Such a strong game in Tel Aviv, Charlie Yankos. Now Steve O'Connor. Davidson. Armeli. Still Armeli again, stopped by Steve O'Connor. Away by Charlie Yankos. 2 minutes to go to half-time. Australia 1, Israel 0. So a throw to Israel on that far side. Ohana. Dispossessed there by Davidson. And then brought down by Alan Davidson. So a free kick for Israel. So again, Harvey Cohen comes forward. And Ekhoiz. This time the free kick to be taken by Sinai. Australia with a three-man wall. So Sinai, one of the two free kick specialists in this Israel side. Taking that one straight against the wall. Sinai again, hooking this one in. Away this time by John Kosmina. Kirat. The flag stayed down. And Watson, in fact, rescuing the situation for the Socceroos, who tried to play the offside trap. Armeli. Watson was the player across. So a throw now to Israel. Now watch this, 30 seconds to go to half-time. Armeli just hooking this one in. Ohana with the header, and he got a free header on the edge of the 6-yard box and put it over the top. The Socceroos defence there lost concentration. Franco Rock checks his watch. And Ohana there had a free header, and surely he should have done better. Not under any challenge, and he puts it way over the top. So Yankos with the goal kick. As the half-time whistle goes, the first half that saw the Socceroos start in shaky fashion, but they got it all together, and after 31 minutes, a goal by David Ratcliffe, his first in the green and gold at full international level, was the goal that separates those two teams at half-time. Certainly plenty of action for this good-sized crowd here at Olympic Park. The second half holds a lot of promise. The half-time scoreline here at Olympic Park in Melbourne is Australia 1, Israel 0. So it'll be the Australian team to get the second half underway. Australia, whose next match is against Chinese Taipei on Wednesday evening at the Highmar Stadium in Adelaide. Israel's next match in Auckland next Saturday against New Zealand. As Australia get the second half underway, this is Odzakov. Now Watson. Ball out of play, an Australian throw in. Joe Watson there being closely marked by David Pizanti. And that's the player who's caused so many problems for the Socceroos in the first half, the number 11, Ohana. So now Charlie Yankos. Kosmina. So Johnny Kosmina easily dispossessed though by Malmilian. Malmilian breaking quickly on that far side. Now Sinai. He's failing to control that one. Ohana. Sinai. Now Pizanti. He's heading that one forward and away by Charlie Yankos. Corner in the opening minute of the second half to Israel. So the Socceroos have pulled everybody back with the exception of David Mitchell. Malmilian, the player to take this corner, he'll be able to swing this one in. You'll see the force of the wind. And that corner flag hooks off the line, and in fact a goal is given. The referee checked with the linesman on the far side, and he indicated a goal, and a goal coming 1.5 minutes into the second half, direct from a corner kick from Malmilian. So the start in the second half that those Israeli fans wanted, but the goal indicated by the linesman on the far side, and scored straight from the corner. Well, Johnny, you looked at that replay. There's the scoreline: Australia 1, Israel 1. Malmilian the scorer, his 9th goal in fact for Israel. So a setback for the Socceroos. Kosmina chasing, and this is Kirat. Crino in the way now, Kosmina. Watson, Oscar Crino, away this time by Kirat. And now Ohana. Well, it's just the tonic that the Israeli side wanted. Now Pizanti. Pizanti again. Now Ohana. Still Ohana. And the shot finishing up well wide. So Ohana, who's causing a few problems for the Socceroos.
Law, of course, the whole of the ball across the whole of the line. Just a brief glimpse, looked terribly close.
Well, the referee checked with the linesman on the far side, who indicated a goal. All three officials this afternoon here from Portugal, pushing that time on. John Kosmina. So a free kick for the Socceroos. Australia 1, Israel 1. Charlie Yankos prepares to take this free kick. Just floating this one in. Mitchell coming in at the far post. Mitchell with a header. Kosmina, just wide from Johnny Kosmina. And the Australian skipper there did so well even to get a touch. Awkward bouncing ball. He was falling back. Somehow he was able to get a boot to it. I think you'll find from this replay it was only inches wide. The goalkeeper had gone the wrong way. Just fractionally wide for Australia. Now Ratcliffe. Odzakov giving that one away. This is Ohana. Odzakov there chasing back. Now Graham Jennings. Yankos. All the way back for Terry Greedy. So Alan Davidson. Now Zarko Odzakov. Davidson. Looking for Kosmina. Kirat was the player in there first. So a throw for the Socceroos. Taken by Alan Davidson. Looking for Kosmina. Kirat shielding that one. Away, in fact, for a goal kick. Just get it teed up when the ball goes out of the post. So Ohana just failing to keep that one in. So Davidson with the throw. Now Steve O'Connor. Jennings. Cool play there from Charlie Yankos. Now Graham Jennings. Certainly that goal has given the Israelis all the encouragement they needed. Certainly seems to be a spring in their step now. So Turk with the throw. Turk just hooking that one forward, cut out by Yankos. Now Watson. Yankos. Now Graham Jennings. Crino. Graham Jennings on the overlap, playing that one in first time. Too far ahead of Mitchell and Kosmina. Armeli. Now it falls nicely for Zarko Odzakov. Still Odzakov. Stopped there by Ekhoiz. Away by Kirat. Now Ohana. Again away from Alan Davidson. Still Ohana. Eventually stopped by Alan Davidson. Now Watson. Wild challenge that. Free kick for Australia. Well, he was the culprit. Now Zarko Odzakov. Playing it wide. Looking for Graham Jennings. Did well to keep it in on that far side. Now Zarko Odzakov. Oscar Crino. Odzakov. Trying the shot. Not really the power to trouble the keeper. Certainly, John, Australia need that man Zarko Odzakov to become a lot more involved in this second half.
Yes, he was a little bit quiet first half. Perhaps been out of it a little bit. But certainly agree with you there. Australia needs everyone involved at the moment, particularly Odzakov, who can threaten the Israeli goal.
Now Oscar Crino. Good challenge by the defender, Marili. And the offside flag up. Armeli was the player caught. Now Mitchell. Pulled down as he tried to turn. Certainly they haven't given David Mitchell too much room to work this afternoon. So a free kick again for the Socceroos. So Joe Memrovich must be not happier now. That scoreline reading 1 each. As Watson takes the free kick, which will have to be retaken. Referee not happy that the wall was back the required 10 paces. So now Watson, just hoisting that one forward. Nobody made a run for it from either side.
Well, Mitchell couldn't make a run for it because he was pushed out of the way again.
And Charlie Yankos. Watson. Giving that one away. A shot from Armeli. Which is up well wide. Armeli, who's scored in every World Cup qualifying match this series. Against Chinese Taipei twice in Israel, and of course against the Socceroos in Tel Aviv 11 days ago. Had the opportunity there. Wind is shot high and wide. So it's very greedy. Facing this very stiff breeze, still managing to get the ball over the halfway line. Watson. Still Joey Watson. Now Davidson. Playing that one into the path of David Ratcliffe. Ratcliffe stopped, in fact, by Sinai, who was back. Now Ohana. Ohana, the offside flag up. He was the player caught. Now Graham Jennings. O'Connor, Jennings, Charlie Yankos. Looking for David Mitchell. The ball out of play. Referee, in fact, has given a free kick for Israel. John, the Australians seem to be relaxing a little bit at the back. They seem to be playing ultra casually.
Yeah, too much. As we said at half-time, even leading 1-0, it's too early to close the game up at the moment. And you can take it too easy and give the initiative to the other team. And Israel's just the team to grab that initiative at the moment.
Now Ratcliffe. Oscar Crino. Now Davidson. Through for Kosmina. Kosmina there trying to lay that one off for Mitchell. Sinai, Ohana, way there from Ratcliffe. This is Pizanti, Malmilian, spreading it wide. Well read that time though by Steve O'Connor, and a first time ball for John Kosmina to chase. In fact, Mitchell was the player going through. Mitchell there catching the goalkeeper, who was well outside his penalty area. Referee there having a quick word with David Mitchell. Seems to have been injured in the process. I'm quite sure he didn't expect to bump into a goalkeeper in that area. Goalkeeper there well outside his penalty area. Mitchell there just following through, catching the goalkeeper with a nasty clash. The goalkeeper who's been in the wars in the first half. Receiving treatment again, the Australian doctor, Brian Corrigan, trying to get on the field to have a look at David Mitchell, who's still down on the far side. Australia will start warming up a substitution. And it could be Jimmy Patikas, another player who's got a lot of speed. Haviv, the keeper, back on his feet. Still David Mitchell. Even treatment on the far side. So David Mitchell also seems to have been winded in that challenge with the keeper. Back on his feet. And Israel get a free kick on the far side. So there's free kick to be taken by Cohen. Now Turk. It's possessed there by Graham Jennings. Odzakov. Jennings again. Kosmina making a run on the far side. Kirat's the player with him. And the Socceroos get the throw in. So Graham Jennings leaving the throw in fact for Odzakov. Kosmina trots into the 6-yard box. So Odzakov with the throw. In good distance. Again the referee blows. Again the free kick goes to the defending side. So Cohen taking it short. Ekhoiz. Malmilian. Long searching ball. Armeli. Still Armeli. Away from Yankos. Armeli. Tried the shot from the most difficult of angles. He had two players completely unmarked inside the 6-yard box. Ohana was one and Pizanti was also unmarked. But Armeli, always an awkward angle, tried the shot. There was players available for him. Well, one thing, John, as we saw in Tel Aviv, the number 8, Malmilian, really came into it in the second half over there. Is starting to dictate things here as well.
Well, here, not only here, Australia have given up the initiative at this stage, and Israel have grabbed it and looking the far more impressive side.
Now Sinai. Away from Ratcliffe. Pizanti. Watson was there first for the Socceroos. David Mitchell being penalised for feet up. Portuguese referee stepping in quickly. It's not been the easiest games for referees, John, this one.
No, well, that's David gets a fair bit of stick.
This is the challenge from David Mitchell. In fact, both players had their feet up high. Interesting to see which way the free kick goes. It'll go to Israel.
Australia losing their way a little bit at the moment. Someone needs to take control of the situation before it gets out of hand.
Now Odzakov. Graham Jennings has made a run on the far side. Mitchell leaving it for Jennings, in fact. Ekhoiz was the player across for Israel. So 16 minutes gone. In the second half, Australia won, Israel won. So Oscar Crino. He's floating this one in. It's too close to the keeper. So Haviv, who's been in the wars a bit this afternoon. Now Ohana. Stopped there by the challenge from Ratcliffe. Pizanti had made a good run forward. Unable to keep that one in. So a throw again to Australia. So Marili, the player brought into this Israeli side this afternoon, who didn't play in Tel Aviv. Kosmina. Away there by Kirat. Now Davidson. Joe Watson being pulled back. Pizanti not agreeing with the decision. So a free kick for the Socceroos. To be taken by Charlie Yankos. Now Davidson. Trying to play that down the line. off his bench, shouting at Charlie Yankos for taking that free kick short. Now Cohen. Ratcliffe winning that challenge against Ohana. Davidson. Yankos. Now Oscar Crino. Away there from Turk. Crino there penalised. Free kick quickly taken. Cohen. Malmilian. He's got some space on that far side. Now Ohana. Still Ohana. Dispossessed by Steve O'Connor. A throw in for Israel. Somebody's going to get booked for something they've said to the linesman, in fact, on the far side. And in fact, it's a red card. An Israeli player has been sent off, and now he's manhandling the referee, and in fact, it's Ohana. And he's completely lost his temper now. He's grabbed the referee. He's said something to the linesman on the far side, but Ohana has been sent off. The Israeli players there surrounding the referee and pushing and shoving the referee. In fact, Harvey Cohen, the skipper, leading the process, but Ohana has been sent off. Still Harvey Cohen is arguing with the referee, but Ohana has been sent off. He said something on the far side to the linesman. So problems now for the Portuguese referee. Rosa de Santos. The player that's been sent off is Ohana. So Israel will play this game with only 10 men. Ohana, who really was having a good game for Israel, he really was their danger man, but he said something to the linesman on the far side, still pleading his innocence there with the referee and manhandling the referee, and that's silly. Ohana now taken off the field, and Israel will play the last 25 minutes with only 10 men. Ohana there, just such a disappointing young man. Franco Rock shouting out instructions to the Australian team to keep their heads, keep cool. And Ohana there in tears. Still some of the Israel players arguing with the linesman on this side of the field now. He really was nowhere involved with the incident. So the game will recommence with the throw-in on the far side. But that really must be a blow for Israel. John Ohana is having such a great game for them.
Well, the big danger. Obviously, we can't comment on what's been said, but if he did, I was just wondering, is that his second yellow, Mike?
Well, the referee booked an Israeli player earlier in the first half when there was a lot of arguing and discussion. One can only say that it was more likely Ohana who was the player booked on that occasion. Now Pizanti floating this one into the far post, away there by Jennings. Sinai trying the shot, safely taken there by Terry Greedy. And Ohana, as he's led from the field, making gestures to the crowd, and that really is a silly thing to do. Now what has happened while we were watching Ohana being escorted off? In fact, Terry Greedy has been penalised for steps. Terry Greedy now pleading his innocence with the keeper. It's all happening here at Olympic Park. Israel also wanting to make a substitution with Turk, the player to come off, and Ronnie Rosenthal, the player to come on. So an indirect free kick for Israel, about 6 yards from the Australian goal. So this really could spell danger for the Socceroos. But remember, the free kick is indirect. It's got to touch somebody else before it can go into the goal. So Turk, the player over the ball. Israel in no hurry to take this free kick. They're still discussing the matters. The referee moves in there to try to get them to make up their mind what they're going to do. Now the referee talking to Australian keeper Terry Greedy. So free kick for Israel. And the ball charged down, and Terry Greedy somehow grabs it with feet flying. But Terry Greedy, the hero in Tel Aviv in that first half for Australia, rescues the situation there. There was feet flying, and somehow Terry Greedy
substitution for Israel
was able to grab the ball as Israel now make their substitution, with Turk, the player, coming off, and Ronnie Rosenthal, the player, coming on. So Ronnie Rosenthal, an out-and-out striker. Now Crino. Watson, spreading it wide. This is David Mitchell. Still Mitchell. Still Mitchell, brought down there by Ekhoiz. Free kick to the Socceroos. So David Mitchell, who really has received some close marking and some quite heavy treatment this afternoon, gets back to his feet. Socceroos have got a free kick to be taken by Joe Watson. So the referee gets the ball back, the required 10 paces. Watson, far post ball, the goalkeeper comes, this time takes it well. Caught out in the first half in a similar situation. This time he was short. Marili, Rosenthal. They won't be able to keep that one in. A goal kick to Australia. Well, John, 20 minutes left. Israel down to 10 men.
Well, Australia have just got to really show their temperament and nerves now, because they've got 11 men against 10. The greatest danger for them is to take it easy, and we've seen it happen so often in so many games where a team with 10 men can play like men inspired and really lift themselves. And it's up to Australia to make sure that doesn't happen. They've got the numerical advantage. They've got to put the ball down and use it, and use that numerical advantage to keep possession and hopefully to get the goal that they still really need to win this match.
So a throw to Israel. Davidson there, pushing Rosenthal. So a free kick for Israel. Again, Jimmy Patikas starts warming up for Australia. So Harvey Cohen has moved forward. So is Ekhoiz. So Sinai with this free kick. Just filling this one in, the header. And a brilliant save by Terry Greedy. Goalkeeper there reacted so well. And a brilliant save, in fact, by Terry Greedy. As the Socceroos start to break, Crino. Now Watson. Davidson. Just chipping this one in, looking for Kosmina. Kirat was the player there for Israel. Now Rosenthal, again unable to keep that one in. But it was a well-worked free kick by Israel at the other end that caused all the problems.
Good move to bring Patikas on now. Israel a man short, committed to get an extra goal. There's going to be lots of gaps at the back, and Patikas is the type of player to capitalise on that.
So there's the free kick. Sinai floating that one in. A brilliant save there by Terry Greedy. Now Oscar Crino for Australia. Mitchell. You're allowed to turn. David Mitchell, now Alan Davidson. First time ball in. Never hit it, in fact, to the far post. Davidson there had more time than I think he realised. Tried to play it in first time. So the goal kick for Israel. Marili, looking that one forward, looking for Rosenthal. And Yankos got the best of back passes. And Greedy reacted so well. And John, one thing we didn't see in Tel Aviv was indecision in the Australian defence, but it seems to be creeping in there now.
Yes, too much. Put the ball down and play. You've got the advantage. It sounds simple from here, but in actual fact it should be simple. If everyone's doing their job, we've got 10 field players against their 9. We have the numerical advantage all the time. Just use the ball and give it away easily and create chances at the other end.
So Oscar Crino with the throw for Australia. Now Kosmina. Kosmina doing well to keep that one in. Kirat puts it away for another throw for Australia.
So while a draw is a good result for Australia, if you like, I mean, a win is so much better for them, particularly with New Zealand coming up. And the game's there to be won at the moment.
So Odzakov with the throw. And this time it seemed that Dave Ratcliffe was clearly pushed by the keeper. The free kick goes to Israel. Now Pizanti running into trouble. In fact, there Pizanti runs straight into David Mitchell. The free kick goes to Israel. So now watch, there's just over 15 minutes left. Still Australia 1, Israel 1. Sinai. Armeli. Davidson there first for the Socceroos. Well, now Oscar Crino. Spreading it wide. This is Odzakov. Jennings has made a run on the far side. Still Odzakov coming infield. Odzakov with the shot. Safely taken though by the keeper. Now Malmilian. Haviv Cohen. Cohen coming forward. And as is Rosenthal. It's outside. Brought down right outside the edge of the penalty area by David Ratcliffe. Israeli players looking for a penalty. But there's no way. The linesman on the far side, right in line with play. But that all started with a good run from defence by the Israeli skipper Haviv Cohen. Rosenthal was the player on his way through. Haviv Cohen there leading the charge. And Rosenthal, and there's the challenge from David Ratcliffe, and that's well outside the penalty area. So Israel, as we know, can be so deadly, these free kick situations. Sinai, the number 7, and Malmilian, the number 8. Really curl a ball and dip a ball. Australia have pulled everybody back. The referee's still trying to get the wall back the required 10 paces. Frank Rock, in fact, is turned away. He can't look. So Malmilian. Seeming the player to take this one. Charged down there by David Ratcliffe. The Australians coming out like the charge of the Light Brigade. Mitchell there bundled off the ball. A free kick for the Socceroos. I don't know what it must be like for coaches, John. They're having a heart failure here.
Yeah, and for strikers like David Mitchell, he's getting so much stick. He's given a bit out today too, which is fair enough, but it was a nice elbow in the face.
Free kick for the Socceroos to be taken by Charlie Yankos. So Yankos floating this one forward. Mitchell climbing well again. Still David Mitchell. And this time being pushed, and the free kick goes to Australia. Haviv Cohen, the culprit. So An opportunity now for Australia to bring the big men forward. Ratcliffe, in fact, has made a run up. He's at the far post along with John Kosmina. So this free kick to be taken by Joe Watson. Floating this one in, and Ratcliffe puts it over. 2 chances there for Australia, and Franco Rock knows how close it was. John Kosmina failed to get a touch, and David Ratcliffe, coming in so fast like an express train at the far post, got a touch but scooped it over.
Great free kick from Watson.
Kosmina there just failing to get a touch. Ratcliffe there scoops it over with the goal at his mercy. Odzakov just nodding that one forward. 12 minutes left. Australia 1, Israel 1. And the foul throw there. Player had at least 1 foot off the ground, most probably 2. Israel now making another substitution. And Malmilian, the player to come off. The player coming on is Selector. So both players who came on in Tel Aviv come on, Rosenthal and now Selector. So Malmilian taken off, and that's a bit of a surprise, John. He was the playmaker in midfield.
Yeah, well, they've got to really gamble now and play. It's all out for Israel now, isn't it? I mean, a draw really is not satisfactory for them today.
So Alan Davidson with the throw for the Socceroos. Ratcliffe back to Davidson. Now Odzakov. Ratcliffe. Now Kosmina. Kirat. Forced back. Away there by Cohen. Steve O'Connor standing his ground well. Watson. Running into trouble. Now Ratcliffe. Steve O'Connor. Kosmina. Throw goes to Australia. So John Kosmina again has been a real target for some wild Israeli challenges. Now Steve O'Connor. All the way back for Yankos. And turn back to Terry Greedy. Watson beaten in the air for that challenge.
Not unusual for Joe.
Odzakov. And that one down the line looking for Mitchell. Ekhoiz was the player coming across for Israel. Now Pizanti. And Armeli there just failing to keep it in. So a throw again for the Socceroos. So Davidson with the throw. Now Odzakov. Odzakov. Try to play that one through for Oscar Crino. In fact, they've all went out of play, but the linesman's flag on this side was up. An offside decision. Signals and shouts going out from that Israeli bench. As Jimmy Patikas prepares to come on for the Socceroos. Graham Jennings tidying up and all the way back to Terry Greedy. So it'll be interesting to see who Franco Rock takes off. Jimmy Patikas, who celebrated his 22nd birthday on Friday. This will only be his 2nd appearance at full international level for Australia, although of course he did make 30 appearances for the Australian youth side. Now Ratcliffe. Oscar Crino. Still Crino. Now Graham Jennings. There's space on that far side. Jennings there away from Selector. Still Graham Jennings trying to hit that one hard and low. Not really getting the power or the direction that he wanted. O'Connor. Ratcliffe. And Yankos playing it all the way back to Terry Greedy. Now watch now, there's 8 minutes left. Crino. Good skills from Oscar Crino. Still Crino going. Eventually stopped. This is Selector. Now Sinai. Davidson that time beaten in the air. And then beaten on the ground by Armeli. Marili, now Pizanti. Sinai, who's got space on that far side. Israel now have got plenty of players forward. Sinai crossing this one in. Davidson missed it. Armeli. In fact, it came off the Israeli player, but Alan Davidson there was cruelly exposed on 3 occasions, John.
Yeah, well, again, we've mentioned it earlier in the game, but Alan is really not back to match fitness, and it's really been exposed today. One thought that the game in Tel Aviv, where he played so well defensively, perhaps not in a positive sense, would have stood him in good stead, but today he's really been at 6s and 7s, and it's disturbing to see a player of his ability in such a state. Hopefully, with the 2 games against Chinese Taipei coming up, we'll get Alan Davidson back to the good old Alan Davidson, who is arguably the best player we've produced in Australia, but certainly today hasn't been Alan Davidson's day.
Well, Jimmy Patikas is on. The player he replaced was Joe Watson. So a throw now for the Socceroos. Joe Watson, who again has given his all for the green and gold this afternoon. Now the explosive power of Jimmy Patikas, which could certainly worry this Israeli defence in the last 7 minutes. Throw again for the Socceroos. So Davidson, Patikas. I think he's pinged Davidson for a foul throw. And the Israel player there stole about 8 yards. Now Steve O'Connor. Quickly down to David Ratcliffe. Odzakov. That one through. Kosmina doing the chasing. Harvey Cohen was the player there. And in there quickly was David Mitchell. Now Patikas. Still Jimmy Patikas. Kosmina. Floating this one in. Oscar Crino. Brilliant save by the keeper. Haviv there reacted so well, and Oscar Crino was so close. But a good move that by the Socceroos. Good cross in from skipper John Kosmina. Good header this from Oscar Crino. The goalkeeper there reacted well and tipped it over and away for a corner. To be taken by Oscar Crino, player that Haviv has just denied. Crino with the corner. Ratcliffe for Mitchell. Odzakov. Davidson just chipping it forward. Pizanti. Davidson. Now Yankos. Harvey Cohen there first. Straight down though to Oscar Crino. And now Jimmy Patikas. Still Patikas. And Patikas there upended by Marili. So a free kick now for the Socceroos.
Crino having a great second half for Australia. Would have been fitting had he scored there, because all the Australian players deserved a goal second half. It's Crino. Absolutely brilliant second half.
So Crino with this free kick. Near post this time. Played by Cohen. Now Armeli and Steve O'Connor having quite a tussle. And now here goes Rosenthal. And a brilliant save by Terry Greedy. Terry Greedy, who really has covered himself in glory this afternoon. The last line of defence there, and what an important save that could prove to be. Just about 4 minutes left, and Greedy there from point blank range somehow managed to stop it and hold the ball. So now Graham Jennings. 2 brilliant saves this afternoon by Terry Greedy. As Patikas makes a run through. And now Graham Jennings. This is Kirat. Just playing that one forward. Way back to goal for Charlie Yankos is blocked. Again, indecision in that Australian defence. Yankos there playing the ball back. Greedy having to clear it to safety. So a throw to Israel. About 3 minutes left. Australia 1, Israel 1. Now Patikas. Crino slipping. Kosmina. And Mitchell now on that far side. Still David Mitchell. Elbowed off the ball by Harvey Cohen. Free kick for the Socceroos. Directs as the referee. Now Odzakov. Trying to play that one through, away by Harvey Cohen. Ratcliffe winning that challenge in the air. Throw this time to Israel. Taken by Pizanti. Sinai. Patikas in there for Australia. Throw to Israel. Sinai. Looking that one forward. Pizanti's moved forward. Ratcliffe the player across for the Socceroos. Just clearing it upfield. Now Kirat. Away by Steve O'Connor. This is Oscar Crino. And now David Mitchell. Mitchell on his way. Ekhoiz is the player that's come back with him. Still David Mitchell cutting inside. Trying to beat the goalkeeper at the near post. And just inches wide from David Mitchell. So close to a repeat of what he did in Tel Aviv. Mitchell here cutting inside. Trying to beat the goalkeeper there at the near post and only fractionally wide. Now Sinai, stopped there by Yankos. What an interception that was by Charlie Yankos. And now Oscar Crino. This game really opening up as Israel now have thrown caution to the wind. This is David Mitchell. Still Mitchell, trying to cut that one back, only as far as the side netting. Goal kick for Israel, which is quickly taken by Haviv. And Sinai. That came off of Pizanti. Throw to Australia. Now Oscar Crino. Still Crino. Kosmina. Now Patikas. Still Patikas. Trying to run at the defence. This is Sinai. A long one forward. Easily intercepted though by David Ratcliffe. And now Jennings. Ratcliffe. Franco Rock in fact is off the bench. He can't bear to watch. Just in times for a coach. On our watch, the 45 minutes are up. We're playing stoppage time. Now Odzakov. Still Odzakov. Patikas. And stopped there by Harvey Cohen. Kosmina. This is Kirat. And away to safety. A throw for the Socceroos on the far side. Now playing stoppage time here at Olympic Park in Melbourne. Kosmina. Charged down by Harvey Cohen. Throw again to the Socceroos. Ratcliffe. Now Oscar Crino. Looking that one in. Patikas. Patikas trying the shot. On target, but not really the power or the direction to worry the keeper. Joe Memovic there shouting out last second instructions. The referee started to check his watch. This is Pizanti. The player across for Australia was David Ratcliffe. And a clash there between Ratcliffe and Pizanti, and Pizanti started that while a wild kick on Dave Ratcliffe. After Ratcliffe had dispossessed the Israeli player. In fact, Israel have got the free kick. In fact, there will be no time to take it. A draw for the Socceroos, which will now give the Socceroos 4 points from their first 3 matches. Israel now on 5 points, 4 of those against Chinese Taipei in 2 matches, and just 1 from their 2 matches against Australia. A hard-fought match here at Olympic Park in Melbourne. Australia taking the lead after 31 minutes of the first half by David Ratcliffe. But Israel getting back on level terms in the first minute of the second half from a corner that's swerved in. Certainly from our replays, it wasn't conclusive that the ball had crossed the line. But the linesman on the far side indicated a goal, and it was the goal that stood, and it was the goal that gives us this final scoreline of Australia 1, Israel 1.